eating chips.
Hello.
All right, listen. Very early, we have an October forecast. I want you to understand that this will be, they can't see that regardless. This will be more intuitive and energetic rather than logical. We are on a Pisces moon, so do take note of that. On the early notice, hit the thumbs up. I will show you this card because I think it's just so beautiful from the star deck. It's called the Great Severing. And, you know, this is a kind of like what's happening already in October. We originally got the crocodile card as an energy for the month of October for everybody, in a sense, collectively. And this is a month to cool down. I'm going to tell you why. Venus is in Libra, sure. But I believe until about December, Venus is invisible. So if you haven't even heard that terminology yet, then this is kind of where we're starting already. So when I get this notification for October that like, first off, the whole month is invisible. So as much as relationships, Venus, are balancing and harmonizing and purifying, understand that Venus being invisible means that the qualities and characteristics that we know it to be, sensual, love, unconditional. I've had other people like very recently commenting, talking about like, nah, like, you know, Venus is this, and this. I'm like, yo, Venus is also our weaknesses. Okay, it's also the places and areas of our life that we like to become addicted. And there's only one Venus card that I got pulled. This is actually the first one I remember seeing, which is actually the Five of Swords. Okay, so the five, off the rip, maybe she could tell us a little bit about it from her perspective.
Yeah, Five of Swords is always defeat. Because the five is always conflict. But how the swords are managing it is always a defeat. It's, and it could be mental too. It could be from a mental place, just having this defeat, because the swords are always about communication, about the mind, about the intellect. So you already have this defeat in your mind. You're already defeated in your mind. And this is the energy that I'm actually getting. And I'm seeing the card because I didn't pay much attention earlier. But the card is Aquarius, so that's air too. And it's the highest form of intellect from all the air signs. So again, it's talking about this defeat.
Boom. So the crocodile card, I have it here at my animal oracle deck. I'm not going to get the card out, but we did pull for October. You know, it's a reminder to step back from the external world and turn inward. So we recently just got the Hermit card, and it's like, oh, the Hermit again. And like, this is the definition I'll be telling people for the next 6 months until March, April, Aries season. We're in the dark. It just is what it is, okay? We're not going to get away from that. So it's like, stop trying. So that's this defeat. The defeat is like, well, the things from 6 months ago now that you've ignored in your relationships, and you pretended that they didn't matter, and you took the shallow road, let's just say. The road of like, essentially getting caught in your mind. Well, now part of the consequence, the defeat, is getting caught in despair. And that's what this Venus in Aquarius is about. And this is the conflict, and this is the call to go inward, understanding that Venus itself is invisible. Now, I coined the video Mars and Gemini. Mars and Gemini squaring Pisces and Neptune in Pisces. And there's a reason, because essentially it's like, we have to start to this month begin to purify and embrace, well, what were the illusions that got us into this situation? That got us into this rose-colored glass? Why do we choose essentially mental despair now by ignoring up front? Why do we choose the illusions that we did? Why do we choose the irrational fears? Right? Why do we choose, in a sense, to not sever or cut? Okay? With like more of a divine feminine energy, I'm getting more scorpionic energy with this one, because the South Node is here, so it's bringing up stuff in the South Node energy. From Scorpio, it's like bringing up that pain, is bringing up that sense of trauma, that sense of, you know, being forced to let go of something, being forced to lose something, which essentially caused the pain and caused the trauma. I think I see a new member. Is that what I see?
I have no idea.
I can't see so far
away.
I'm sorry, yo. I got
From
my
energy, because I can't see.
Yeah, because
I have my glasses
this
on.
is my cell phone that we're recording off of. This is super impromptu. It felt like a channel message. If that is a new member, I can't see it in the moment. I want to say thank you, welcome. Aileen's going to check now. We're going to give you the personal shout out. So I'm going to get back to this because I'm in a straight channel today. Like Pisces Moon woke up on channel mode. She got
Ads.
she got hit with an ad. Oh yeah.
Oh, Secret Balance.
What's up, Secret?
Yeah, new member, Secret Balance.
I appreciate you. I'm about to say I see the globe, so I think it had to be you. Yo, Secret, I actually thought about you recently, and I want to have you come back live on the channel. And I want to have you come back live on the channel because I came across recently, this is part of what Mars squaring Neptune is partially about. I say partially, not all. And so this matters. So Secret, listen to this and send me a message so I don't forget. I wanted to have you come live to talk more about how the U.S., United States of America, is a corporation. It's not a country. And as I say that, I even feel it in her. She's like, wait, it's not a country? What? And this is one of the beginning understandings, this illusion, Mars severing, okay? Where's Mars energy here? Okay, look, Nine of Swords. Nine of Swords, this is Mars in Gemini. And this is what we have right now. So Nine of Swords is obviously like, not the card nobody wants to get. It's almost, you say it's one of the worst, no?
Yeah, I'm like, I get people all the time just scared when they get the death card. I'm like, no, that's that's not even close to the worst one. One of the worst is the Nine of Swords, because the whole journey of Swords through Tarot is to sever. Actually, the 10 is finally the divorce. That's why Nine of Swords is one of the most difficult cards, because it's a point where you could either hold on a lot to something that you know is hurting you, or you're making peace with yourself that you have to let it go. So it's still a hurtful moment. It's still super painful because either way you're realizing that you have to let something go. It's just it's just the difference between if you actually are choosing the path of doing it or if you're still rejecting it. So either way, it's gonna be painful. And in my personal opinion, it's more painful if you decide to hold on to something that you already know that has to be gone. So this, you do have these two energies of the swords. First, that we talked about was the Five of Swords, about having this defeat. And then later in life, it comes the Nine of Swords, where you're understanding that, okay, now I have to let go. The final step is the divorce. The bright side of this, if you wanna look at it, is that it's super close to the actual finishing of this whole journey. So if anything, it's gonna hurt, but at least it's the final stage, and then you prepare yourself to go onto the world and do something new, do something different, and get ahead into something. Something that this is making a hole in your life in a way, because yes, this is something that is going away, but then you're actually making space for something new, something better, something that is actually more into your own center, into your own energies. So what is it? Let's start thinking right now. Now that you let go of this, what's next? What do you want to attract?
Okay. So the question is, what's the conflict? What's the despair? And in this month, coming out of Virgo energy, while Mercury is still in Virgo, okay, you have something else in Virgo as well, no? Pull that chart up for me. I don't think so. I think Mercury is the last one in Virgo. So essentially, it's coming out of a retrograde.
Yeah, Mercury is the only thing in Virgo.
So it's coming out of a retrograde. It's the last Earth energy in the sky. And we just came from having 2 seasons so far this year in Earth, right? We went through Taurus already. We just officially, and we're getting ready to finish up Virgo energy. That's that second form, that second consciousness, before we officially come to Capricorn. So what am I saying? Earth is that energy of like the physical touch, how we take care of our body, how we do self-care, how we take care of our body before we're burnt out, how we take care of our body as a part of preparation so we don't burn out, so we don't have to do aftercare, right? And if y'all saw that live, it was great. It's like aftercare is like taking care of yourself when things are already gone too far. Things you're already hurt. I do thank y'all for those thumbs up. I see y'all in the chat. I appreciate you for supporting the channel. Shout out to Secret for one of our new members. Really where I think the pain and despair is coming from, when I look at that last Earth energy, our minds have already crossed this. We've already gone retrograde into it. And we have a Mercury Kazemi. For those of you who know that it is, it's when the Sun and Mercury, after like a retrograde, will come back at the same degrees. So this is coming a little bit later. I don't know if you can see when. Just fast forward until Libra gets at the same degree as the Sun. I think it might go by the week. Go by the week. Go by the week. So we're trying to get you a date so we can help y'all out and support y'all that way. But when you get the Mercury Cazimi in Libra, this is going to be these like divine synchronistic revelations where like the relationships that you realize are not going to last. You see right now like Tom Brady and his wife Giselle, a couple other people, these long 15, 14-year relationships that have been very long standing.
Okay, hey, I'm sorry, they come super close. This is where they are 1 degree apart.
It's whatever.
Okay, October 17th.
So around October 17th, October 15th, these revelations comes at what? About 6 to 7 days after the Aries full moon, which is happening. The full moon in Aries is partially why you're coming to this place of surrender, and you're not feeling like intuitively asserting yourself. You're rather attuning to the feminine energies. Which like today, her and I woke up, we were like, what the hell are we gonna do? It was like, what is today? Like, is today Sunday?
It feels like Sunday. It does feel like a Sunday.
But today is a day for divine love. So divine love is everything that is not, right? So what I'm getting is this pain, including this material trouble, okay, this 5 of Pentacles, Earth, this material trouble, this pain of losing certain resources. Essentially, anything you're losing right now was not in integrity. Mm-hmm. And that's all it's about. Everything you're losing right now means that it wasn't in integrity when you got it.
And this is actually a message that came through, I think, like 1 month ago. I think it was, I don't remember exactly which moon. Yeah. But I do remember seeing this message that everything that you do has to be in integrity. Because otherwise it's not gonna last, it's not gonna be long lasting. Mm-hmm. So right now, if you didn't act in integrity, then that is exactly what you're gonna lose. Again, the 5 is conflict, and we do have the 5 of Swords, and we do have the 5 of Pentacles. So it's defeat, and it's gonna materialize in real life too.
Mm-hmm. So this is not all doom and gloom. To be honest, up front, it's going to look like that, and it's going to feel like that, and you're going to have the mental chaos, and you're going to experience the mental despair. That's going to treat it like everything like that. And that's what this Nine of Swords is telling us very clear, right? Was that in reverse, or you put that there?
I think you put it.
Okay.
No, everything was upright.
It was upright.
Yeah, everything was upright.
Like I said, Venus is invisible in the sky, which means that Venus is naturally home in Libra, but we're not going to get that lovey-dovey feeling. The only way you can get that right now is if 6 months ago you approached and you stepped into these relationships, especially if you have a relationship anywhere from now to 6 months under. This is like if it's going, you already know. You already knew it was going. This isn't the first time that you've come to the realization that, this relationship is tampered. Because of this 5 of Pentacles, lost material, this energy, I'm really getting that, like, especially if it's a relationship that's fucking with your sexual energy. If it's draining and depleting your sexual energy, your creative life force energy, your sacral chakra. Mind you, the sacral chakra is the relationship center. So if this is a relationship that, sexually you're either just frustrated, dissatisfied, okay, overexerting yourself and having too many orgasms and not redirecting, repurposing your orgasmic energy, your life force creative energy into something that is more about this 3 of Wands, which is the preparation, okay? Establishing your strength, establishing your authority, establishing your power, which is you yourself. This is Aries and the Sun energy.
And it's coming up a lot. Well, that 3 of Wands is the Aries and the Sun energy. Right now we're stepping into Aries full moon. So naturally, all of these instincts, all of these feelings, especially around the sexual energy, are going to be heightened. Because that's what the full moon is going to do. It's going to shine light. All the fire signs love being in the full moon. So they're going to exert it a little bit more. Well, not a little bit, a lot more. And especially Aries just has this raw creative energy, just expands itself. It doesn't matter really anything else. So take a look at that. A lot of realizations are going to come in this full moon. And I do talk a lot about it in the video that I did about the Aries full moon. I also did a poll.
My baby wants some sunshine.
as I did a moon oracle all about the sexual energy and how to start processing it, because I found myself happening. I found that happening to myself. So that's why I started to dive a little bit deeper on that. And why am I feeling like this? Like, and understanding that this evaluation comes from yourself first. You cannot go blaming it on, oh yeah, if I feel like this is it's my partner's fault. And because that's what happens a lot. I do recognize that's what happens a lot. So first check for yourself and try to work, well not try, just work with your own sacral energy. And I'm gonna drop the link of that video because I really talk about that, because it's something that I felt that was happening and that I know is gonna be more and more heightened. So if you don't start working on it as soon as possible, it's only gonna get harder.
So, I'm gonna dip into, yeah, they don't want the message. I'm gonna dip into Mars squaring Neptune and how that plays into these deceptions and into the things that are being asked of you to dissolve, as for not just illusions, but just that fantasy. You know, in my mantras, Gemini is the voice, right? Not the voice itself, but it's the lungs, okay, that carries the capacity. Gemini is the communication of the lungs, of the communications of the zodiac. So I just dropped, for all my members, for those of you who are members in here, go ahead and definitely drop the skeleton and just hit that meditation, because we are in this position where we're being asked to meditate and do a lot more breath work, and it's going to help you see through Neptune's fog. If you're feeling very mentally fogged right now, and that mental fog is allowing you to basically stay in the past, to maintain a sense of despair, to maintain, to get caught in the despair even of the things, the material things that you're losing, by getting closer to perfecting the work, perfecting the craft, perfecting the creativity. I say that because you have this Three of Wands, which is the Lord of established strength. Okay, this is power and authority within Aries when it comes to creativity, but it's
like a mini victory itself.
It is like a mini victory in itself, but it also is like the proper use of masculine, feminine energy back to divinity. The 1, the 2, and the 3. You have the 3. And 3 is always about creativity as well. So it's like establishing your strength within your creative self. Self being Aries. Okay, your creative instincts. And then notice we got, because these are like the only 2 good cards in the deck, except for the Knight of Wands.
Yeah, well, the Knight of Wands is just, I think it goes after the Nine of Swords. When I was talking about you getting rid of something, but then you're going to have something else to do and to start keeping in mind what do you want to attract. Because the Knight of Wands energy, it's literally that. It's a very early and fast movement energy of whatever project you want to do. You have the energy, you have the resources to do it. And more especially the energy. Even the name of this card, like Lord of Flame and Lightning. You're just ready to attack, you're just ready to go for it. The only thing blocking this is the Nine of Swords, this nostalgia, this not wanting to let go of something that already wants to get rid of in your life.
But I don't believe this is everybody right now, because this is especially if you're in relationships that either 6 months prior, and even long-standing relationships that, you know, you just tapped out 15 years ago. You tapped out 13 years ago, and you were just like, well, fuck it, it's my wife, we got kids, you know, it is what it is, I can't change that. So it's either that, or if you have a newer relationship, fresh relationship, and 6 months ago you didn't look at the reality, those are the ones that are breaking up. I do believe tremendously that if you took the right steps, October is going to show you through the purification, and it's going to show you, but it's not, because Venus, like I said, it is invisible. So this is naturally a very harmonious and polished energy, but you're gonna naturally skip almost what are those polished energies looking like? What is the strength that you establish in your relationship? If you did, what is the work that you've perfected, Four of Wands, in your relationship? How has basically you valuing yourself? Because Four of Wands is Venus in Aries, which is technically in its fall, it's technically debilitated. Yet the thing that it does mean for sure is that this work perfected is coming because before you were in the relationship, you in a sense found a way to perfect yourself. Right? Like literally, like you went through the steps before you got into the relationship, which means that now you're not carrying baggage. And this is a lot of what's kind of coming up in relationship dynamics. It's like, as we have Jupiter in Aries, supporting the success of ourself. Jupiter is success, Aries is the self. As we support the philosophy, Jupiter, of ourself, the unconditional love, okay, the optimism, all these are Jupiter words of ourself. It's in retrograde, and it's at the 2nd degree today, which is degree of self-worth, the degree of self-esteem, high esteem, the type of esteem that no one can change your mind. No one can tell you that you're less than what you're worth. So if you've done this, I honestly believe that you're not looking at this Knight of Wands the same because your base is different. Right? If you did do the right work, you married yourself basically. Because again, Venus is marriage, Libra is marriage. But it's like you're either going to marry the divorce or you're going to marry yourself. And so what that looks like is like, did you marry yourself before you were in a relationship? Or did you depend on the relationship to do it for you? This is where all of this suffering is happening. This is where now you have a despair, you're feeling a sense of cruelty, even mentally in your mind. This is now where you're losing a lot more things, and you are probably losing more than what it feels like you're gaining, because whatever you gained was probably not in integrity. This is where you're now feeling defeated, and it's like, again, like, it's not to keep you down and pin you down, but it's to help you to try to value that despair, value the depression, value what did you learn, how were you defeated. And as you do that, you're still going to then work your way back to what you could have done a while ago, which is to the 3 of Wands, establishing strength, to the 4 of Wands, perfecting the work. Again, this is all individual, Aries and Aries, Aries Sun, Aries authority and power, and Venus Aries, the values, okay, as well as the weaknesses and the addictions, because Venus is invisible. So that's not counting just for Venus and Aquarius, it's counting for Venus and Aries as well, where you valuing and having that sense of self-worth in yourself is also invisible. The flame is now going south, by the way. It just went that way, and this way is south. So this is saying, like, value and start to see the invisible. And what the invisible looks like right now is you are stronger and more bold, more courageous and more instinctive than you know. You're more creative than you accept. And just because you can't see it, or maybe you're not even getting the praise for it, this is the whole purpose of being stabilized within yourself. And if you are doing that, then you can see that your relationships are more harmonious right now. And emotional projections are not able to cross certain boundaries. They're getting caught at the front door. Or if you're not doing that, now this 9 of Swords is impacting this Knight of Wands in a very much more malefic way. Now it's like chaos and lightning, and things are getting torn down, even as you have to move forward and you feel forced to move forward. Now it's like, this is the point where you know if this energy is out of balance if you find yourself cynical. So I want you to just ask yourself, have I been cynical lately? Like, have I been cynical lately? With anything, with your purpose, anything, especially Sagittarian, because this is 2 degrees, the first 2 degrees is Sag. So anything within, have you been cynical about traveling the world? Have you been looking at traveling the world and feeling like, man, I'm not going to make it? Or, even if not just negative, like cynical about it, or even laughing and joking about what you know is really, it means a lot to you, but you're just not teaching it. You know it means a lot to you. You know you want to travel. You know you want to go take on this new course or take on that education and get back into university, and they say, or even it's higher education. So it's like, you want to study Bruja. You want to study astrology. If you do, I'm running Astro memberships very, very soon. So it's like, you want to study, but you're looking at it very cynically. In reality, it's like, well, what insecurity are you hiding? So that's one level of it. And if not that, and you're on the other side of it, I feel like it looks like, you're coming out of this load of despair that you've already been facing over the last 6 months. So it's like, if you've already been kind of facing what it means to sever the thoughts and the ideas, because you have Gemini, Mars, Gemini, what it means to sever these things in a mutable way, right? So not necessarily direct, but allowing them to go when they go. So this is, again, the meditation that I said. This is the legit meditation, right? It's like not fighting your thoughts, allowing them to come and allowing them to go. It just comes in one ear, it takes a space, you don't fight it, and you let it go. That's how Gemini would cut in Mars, if it's just a clean one through, right? But if it does not allow it and it starts to try to solve the problems in its mind and it tries to fight, that Saturn now looks very different. That Saturn looks like psychosis. And this is bringing us back to the Mars squaring Neptune. This is the type of energy where it's like October is asking you to cool down and prepare. It's asking you to establish your strength back within yourself. And so if you have a relationship that's going right now, this is one of the reasons why they're not going to last. Because you're being asked to reestablish your strength within yourself. You're being asked to look at the fact that this defeat is your fault and not the person you're blaming. This defeat is your fault. The illusion that this blaming of somebody else is Neptune really fighting back. And Neptune is stronger than Mars right now. Neptune, Pisces has more support. You're about to get ready to go Jupiter back in Pisces in like another week to 2 weeks. And this is the astrology for October. So it's like when Jupiter gets there, it already has come there, right? Before it went to Aries, it's going back in retrograde. Jupiter's in retrograde. When it gets there, now what are you looking at? Karma coming to a final end, a final closure. If you didn't allow it to close the first time, before retrograde, you're gonna close it out now. Everything stopping you and blocking you from your success, because Jupiter is success, stopping you from surrendering your philosophy, sacrificing something. This is what you're gonna realize in a relationship. Even if you are staying in the relationship, and that isn't even if you did it right, you stay in a relationship, you're gonna have to start recognizing and noticing there are new expectations in this new formed relationship. Something will be sacrificed from the mind. And the more you fight that over a 7-month retrograde, okay? If I look at it, Mars is in Gemini for 7 months, but it's not retrograding for 7, right? We already have like 2 months. So it's like a 5-month retrograde. Yet, there is that 2-month shadow period. So you might as well call it a 7-month retrograde. Okay, I take it back. So that's a long time to fight with the mind rather than let it go and do breath work. To be honest, the most practical thing you can do in this to manage the deceptions is breath work, movement. Okay, you said Wands is defending and Knights is movement?
What? No.
Wands is defending?
And
Or is that only for the 7 of Wands?
oh no, yeah, that's only for the 7 of Wands. Yeah, I was like, what?
So what's
No,
the Knight of Wands?
The Knight of Wands is the new energy to push forward, like the perseverance. That's why I'm saying that whatever it is that it's let it go right now, it's making space for something new to come,
Mm-hmm.
and then you have all this strength to just go push forward and move.
Mm-hmm.
And you have this energy because sometimes there's lack of motivation, but that's not the case right now. The motivation is there. All of the energy is there. The pushing forward is there. It's the starting of a new journey.
Mm-hmm. And I think this is what, again, I believe in this month. Can you go forward another month or so to see if, not a month, but a week. So let's see, October astrology.
24?
I'm only curious about if Jupiter, okay, it's 0 degrees, okay. So it's 0 degrees on October 24th. Go one more week. Okay, boom. October 31st, so at the end of the month, Pisces will be back. At the end of the month, Pisces will be back into Jupiter. But not only that, Mercury will be in Scorpio. The Sun will be in Scorpio. Venus will be in Scorpio.
Everything's good.
So that's water. With the Jupiter already being there. And now we have South Node in Scorpio. So the end of this month is coming right back to it. This is the water of the crocodile. It's the earliest consciousness is asking you this month to take more rest, to submerge, to collect energy, to cool off, okay, from all the heat. And it's reminding you to step back from the external world, turn inward. This is hermit type energy. It's not time for decisions. I told everybody off the rip, until about October 19th, you're not even gonna really, really clearly know what to do. And even when you clearly know what to do, part of that doing, you're gonna recognize very clearly, is about reestablishing your strength. And it's about perfecting your work, perfecting your creative work, and not moving too soon, not valuing the impulse, not valuing jumping at it and jumping the gun. All right, this is a slower month. Okay, the crocodile's mantra is wait. This does not mean lying around hoping that life challenges will disappear. Okay, that's when you get into the negative energy. What card says that? What card says within my last sentence? This lying around. This does not mean lying around hoping that life challenges will disappear.
I would be the Nine of Swords.
Boom. The crocodile is much smarter than that. It means intentionally withdrawing, gathering our awareness, observing, and building energy. That's all Aquarius. That's the Nine of Swords. She's right on point. So it's valuing being in the void. Remember, Aquarius is in deep, dark space, furthest thing away from the sun. If the heart is Leo, of the sun, Aquarius is in deep space. So this is where you go. What did you tell me about the breath? Where does Aquarius find his enlightenment?
In the breath?
Yeah.
Yeah, there's this meditation technique. This is one of the first meditations that I learned, and it was to, when you're deep in meditation, you do around I don't know 70 breaths before you even get there, and then you start finding the answers between the breaths. So this means between each inhale and exhale, there's a space where you are just holding the air. You're maintaining it inside or outside. And either way, that is the void between breaths. That is the void between respirations, and that is where you're actually in tune with the cosmic, with the divine.
Can you drop them the email list in the chat? Every Sunday at 9:30 a.m.
9:50.
My bad. You gonna tell me that now? After I made a whole video?
Oh, I don't know.
You saw that and you ain't even... Okay, whatever. I'm sorry. All right, look. You're gonna see these astrological transits. I'm not gonna lie to you. This is not something to be afraid of, but this is something very clearly to stay super alert and super introspective, and to understand that we're going into the darker 6 months of the year. And I mean it. Like, this is the time of the year where people commit suicide. This is the time of year that, people take on hobbies like Jeffrey Dahmer, quite frankly, when they get left in the dark and they get left alone and they think that they're all alone. This is how extreme levels of cuffing season, how they say, how extreme levels of possession and control start to take place, start to take form.
Do you have it?
Yeah. It's in your, go to your YouTube studio, you copy from your own video, you have the email list.
I don't have YouTube Studio here.
What? You're crazy. What the hell is that?
I don't know where my phone is.
I don't know, what does that mean? Alright. You're messing up my channel. My channel message. Damn, that's the wrong one. Studio. So at least tell them why what they're gonna get on that email list. Why does it matter?
Oh yeah, because in the emails we're constantly publishing things. The astroclimate of the week, tarot pulls just for you, discounts on healing, glimpses of what's going forward. Actually, we have been putting the dates of all of the retrogrades. Mercury, Mars are right there in the email list. But also, the moment you subscribe, you also get like a freebie. You get a giveaway, right? Now, with a lot of information that is going to actually help to navigate, to understand a little bit more of astrology, of numerology, all of these things that just come together when understanding the energies and the cycles of the world.
Boom. So, tell me about your 29th degree prognosis and why that matters, and how, because Neptune is a fog, okay? It's like a spiritual fog, and it's made up of an element of water that is not actually on Earth, which is part reason why we can't recognize it and never will be able to. Okay, at least not with a human consciousness. So yeah, she has a 29th degree of prognosis. She's really a part of like seeing forward. Tell them more. Tell them, why does that matter? Because I'm literally trying to tell them, like, the email list is so that they can literally see the future.
Oh yeah, I mean, that's all that is there. I'm gonna live along the 29 prognosis thing because I really don't understand where that's going right now. But the thing is that this is literally what we do for a living. I do pull the cards. I read the Akashic records, which is not only the past and the present, it's also the possible futures. So we're understanding all the possible futures within all of this that we're doing. within Brujeria, within the astrology, within the reading, within the getting into other cosmic worlds, understanding, reading literally the book of life. And the book of life including everything, not only past, present, and future, possible futures in this life, but also from past lives, what comes from the ancestry. So all of this is important right now because if we know what's going forward, we know how to prepare. So right now, for example, you can understand and you can pull something from the subconscious and onto the awareness and understand like, oh, this is what they were talking about when they were saying about the evaluating of the relationship. Oh, this is the frustration of the sexual energy. Oh, this is where the breath work is going to come handy. So the point is to actually make and have all of these routines, to have all of these techniques, to have everything that you know is going to help you go into center again. And when the moment, and to practice it beforehand. So when it actually happens, you already have this program of, okay, I know exactly what to do, I know how to handle it, I know how to redirect this energy and how to use it properly for my benefit instead of holding on to something that is not even there, something that you're not supposed to be holding on to, and it's just gonna bring more pain.
Justice and reverse.
So it's Libra energy, of course.
It is Libra.
And this goes again into what I was saying. I've been saying this message for like, I think 2 weeks now, to evaluate your relationships, all of the relationships, because I feel that when I say relationships, people
automatically think about love.
Yeah, romantic love. And it's not always like that. It could be partnership, it could be business partnership, it could be a relationship with a sibling, with friends.
It could be a relationship with blood.
But the point is that not every evaluation is to end it. Sometimes it's just to discover something. Maybe you can understand these triggers for yourself and you manage them for yourself. Maybe it is a problem with the other person and you put your boundary. If the person respects that boundary, then you already overcame everything. You already passed this with an uncomfortable moment, yes. This is where some of the despair can come of the Nine of Swords.
This is how they get over the uncomfortable moment.
But you actually, there are 2 ways of going through this. If the person respects the boundary, the relationship stays. So this is why it's, when I say evaluate and don't get afraid of bringing justice into a relationship, don't be afraid of having these uncomfortable moments. Because yes, it could mean that the relationship just has to go away, it has to end, but it also could mean that you're improving it. And that you now have a more harmonious relationship and that you're able to grow together, which is something that we're, personally, I'm looking for that, to be in a relationship when I can grow with my partner and we can just bring the best of each other, supporting it. And the Three of Swords in reverse, that's how they get out of it.
That's how they get out of it. And if you have a question and you want to go ahead, you can just comment your question. If that's not possible, and you want to just go ahead. If that's not possible, then the only other thing I can think is you can go ahead and drop a donation for Super Chat, and then we'll go ahead and give you the access to talk about it from there. So, but other than that, the Three of Swords is how you get out of it in reverse.
So, embracing the sorrow. And this is something I was just talking to my friend.
Oh, it's Libra and Saturn energy as well.
This is something that I was just talking about with my friend, because she was triggered. She had a whole situation and she was telling me that she talked to someone because she had this incident. She was super angry, she was super crying, despair, in pain, in sorrow, and the friend that she talked to was like, oh no, calm down. I was like, that's the worst thing that you can say to a person. You have to embrace your emotions. If you just keep pushing them away, they're gonna go into the shadow of you, and eventually the shadow is gonna eat you alive, and not evidently not in a good way. So you do have to let these emotions go out. They are a warning to you. If you're feeling too much sorrow, if you're feeling too much anger, if you're feeling too much jealousy, all of these things are there in order for you to understand something about yourself. Whether it is to put boundary, to get rid of something, to improve your self-esteem, whatever it is, the emotions are there for a reason. So don't push them. Just embrace them in a healthy way. Because I'm not saying that, yes, embrace your anger and go kill somebody, because that's not the thing that you want to do. You just want to understand where this anger is coming from, not just push it away. So that's how it makes sense with the Three of Swords in reverse. Embracing all of your emotions, understanding that they are here to teach you something. You're here to learn something from this emotion. There's a reason that when you came back to Earth, you decided to have this path, you decided to have this conflict, you decided to have your astrological chart. So ask yourself why. What is this emotion showing me? What am I learning from this experience?
Yeah, and that's where Saturn is exalted in Libra. It's exalted in Libra, Saturn. Because first off, Saturn has a natural pushing energy because of the cardinal energy of Capricorn. But it's in a feminine energy, but it has like masculine responsibilities, which is why it shares that. Capricorn, in a sense, Saturn chooses to share its love with the traditional masculine energy of Aquarius. So Aquarius has the masculine energy to actually sustain and hold a vision, a purpose, a direction, with the feminine approach of Capricorn, which is a cardinal energy, but it's a feminine pushing, right? Which is like, ooh, what is that about? Opposite of Cancer. So the reason why Libra is exalted in this Three of Swords in reverse, aka embrace the sorrow, is because that's what Libra forgets sometimes. We have Venus in Libra right now. We have the Sun in Libra right now. Mercury's going to be back in Libra very soon, and we're going to have that Kazemi. And I honestly feel we're going to get into the understanding that in order for us to reach divinity, we're going to have to start talking about the balance of masculine and feminine energies and how it is legitimately needed and required. This is one reason why we're getting ready to run a retreat on just exactly that. The way I'm looking at it, it's just going to be like the divinity retreat.
Hey, where's it?
You need that?
I need it. My soul needs it. I thought it was here. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to push you. Yeah.
This is because the opposite of Libra, the shadow of Libra is Aries. So war, fighting for yourself, a lot of that Aries energy we had in the first pull here today, fighting for yourself is how you fight for the relationship. Because ultimately when you hit those boundaries, when you hit those things that unbalance the structures that unbalance and ask you through those disbalances to get self-disciplined, which is now Saturn's influence, Libra knows how to do that. Libra knows, like, look, like, you know what? If this is what it takes to balance out, I got to really take care of myself. This is ultimately when Libra starts to want to do it. The question is, are you willing to go ahead and take the initiative in the relationship and balance out these sorrows, no matter what the consequence actually is? Understand the exaltation, the highest form is justice, divine justice. And to me, in this instance of divine justice is divine love. Really, in all sincerity, because divine love is a partial of just a higher expression of masculine and feminine in its divinity. And that's why this retreat is coming up. So again, if you're interested in the retreat, just get on our email list.
Yeah, we're actually taking your opinions into account.
Because I want to learn more from you about what you need.
Yeah, we want to know exactly what it is that we can do for you. So it's a win-win situation.
What's up, Aisha? Aisha, I want to see you at the retreat 2023, Mexico. All right, I'm gonna play with my pendulum. All right. Okay, let's get it calibrated. Show me a no. This is literally for Aisha. Will you be at the retreat? Okay, but first, show me a yes. So you have to understand and train your pendulums. For me, yeses are circles. Those are upright. Okay, thank you. And you have to also thank your pendulum. Will Aisha be at the retreat 2023? That's a no. That's a clear no. It ain't you, girl. Somebody else on here. That's a clear no. I think I seen 10 people on here on the line. Let me ask a different question. Is somebody on this live going to be at the retreat 2023? Is somebody on this particular live going to be at the retreat 2023? Oh, I see hesitation.
Yeah, it started going this way and then started doing the circles.
I see hesitation. This is Libra.
Yeah.
Will somebody in this retreat 2020? It is trembling.
It is trembling.
It's somebody that knows they need to be there, but they're afraid. Is it somebody that knows they need to be here, but they're afraid?
Big circle.
Okay, the circle began. Somebody that knows they need to be at this retreat 2023, but they're afraid. Look at the clarity.
The circles are going bigger and bigger.
Look at the clarity.
Yeah.
Okay. You have any other questions before? I'm in my channel.
I mean, if anyone has a question, just pop it up.
Well, not everybody can. They're not a member.
Well, the people who can.
If they are a member, if you're a member, that's all right. So for me, for right now, that's the simplicity of it. I might try to do like a video on pendulum training. I really like it a lot. I'm not gonna lie.
I actually just, I usually just said she has one, but it messes with her mind because she doesn't know how to use it. And there's that, I do have respect for pendulums because it's a way of channeling energy. It's a way of channeling a lot of energy. This is what's happening when it starts to move. But I think the video that you're talking about of training.
Yeah, I'm gonna make a video just to train how to use a pendulum because I had to learn.
Yeah, it's not so easy.
It really is, but it takes a certain sense of respect. You know, like, and you have to get the pendulum that calls to you. You know, you have to, like, there was another pendulum that the lady was trying to sell me when I was here, and she was like, this one right here, this one has powerful energy. I'm like, yeah, like, what's the energy about? And she told me, but she couldn't tell me in depth. Like, she couldn't tell me what Google would have told me. You know, but it was other one was like, me, take me. Where maybe I should have took it and it was a gift to somebody else, but instead I got myself this one. So already it starts from there. Like, I knew that this one was mine.
Mm-hmm.
So
I'm sorry, but it's just super important. It doesn't matter if pendulum, jewelry, crystals by themselves, they call you. You really just feel the energy that it's strong. So maybe that's the first step for you. You should to understand if the pendulum that you have is the right one.
I'm gonna answer this one for shits and giggles, and then I'm gonna go back to this transit, Mars squaring Neptune for Aisha. And this is really coming more because you just became a member recently, so this is just the love coming out to you. I told people I want to give more energy to the members. So, what's her actual question? Will I have union?
If she will have union with her twin flame.
Will Aisha have union with her twin flame? Yes or no? To be honest, there's more social pressure. I'm feeling this. Yeah, it just hit the tremble. It was trying to even not show that it was trembling, but my arms is kind of what moved, which brings me back to the great severing. It brings me back to the great severing. This is Mars energy, this is anger, this is conflict, and this is softening to love. The real question for you, Aisha, is are you willing to soften to love? And are you willing to sever the fantasies? Because Mars is about severing energy, cutting energy, and the fantasy is Neptune. So the square is this. Thank you for that thumbs up. I saw somebody hit it. I want to say I appreciate you. This severing is from any fantasy. And I won't lie, like there's always a sense of fantasy associated with twin flames. So twin flames itself can legit be Neptune. It's a lot of times, Neptune is the great dissolver of illusions. But the thing is, the ways in which it dissolves is it actually presents an illusion. You have some guys here, it presents an illusion. It presents a fantasy and allows you to live in that fantasy essentially to still get to where you're going, but by taking you off the path, off the route, just to realign you on the route through some form of deception. A lot of times the deception could be deception of self. So ultimately, I'm giving you the same thing. You know, it's less about the twin flame and the fantasy about the concept of twin flame, and it's more about the reality of what it's here for. Okay, what it's here for is to bring the divinity back, bring you back to divinity. And a lot of people are going through this right now, and they're having to cut out the more fanatical rose-colored glasses, and it's asking you in reverse to basically embrace the sorrow that this twin flame is bringing, the anger that is rising within you, the conflicts internally rising within you, and to go ahead and use this Mars energy to take action and take and assert what it means to cut the things that's stopping you from feeling softer and engaging in a soft way with love, softening up to love. Understand, look at the tremble. This is a lot of things, when just tremble, there's a lot of things about twin flames already that it brings. And I think Neptunian, like, to help you to dissolve the illusion, it will bring that, a sense of, like, nervous system shock. And that's a lot of what. Thank you for that thumbs up. I see y'all. I appreciate y'all for those thumbs up. Y'all vibe. You got the email listed?
No.
Okay, cool. Y'all super vibe. Ready? So here, it's in that description somewhere. Usually at the top. So what I'm getting is like what I have to learn about love, especially like as a Scorpio rising from my Scorpio placements out there, Scorpio moon, Scorpio rising, Scorpio sun, Scorpio Venuses, especially any of those. There's always this sense of like that I myself need, as a Scorpio rising I myself need to experience, turbulence within my partnership for it to be real, for it to be enduring. And it's like, that's not simplistic. It's just not true. When it comes to love, when it comes to especially a divine love, your nervous system should be at ease. It should be at rest. You should feel like a Pisces flowing through, like a lot like Neptune. So Mars severing in Gemini is using the logical mind of Gemini, but also a sense of your own thoughts, right? What do you think about this? So a lot of this energy and this introspection in the next 6 months, in the month of October, as Venus is invisible right now, okay? Venus in Libra is invisible, which means relationships in its own way, okay? The harmony within relationship is invisible. Whether that's positive or negative is less important right now, because it could be both. I see both answers in my mind about how could it be positive and how could it be negative. What it's really coming down to is like, where have you made yourself invisible and you made twin flames larger than you yourself? And that shit just hurt. I'm sorry. Oh, yup, I'm gonna send that one. Okay, we're gonna burn some jasmine on that motherfucker. My bad. I swear to God, it wasn't me. It was Source. They made me do it.
No, yeah, I've been hearing this for a while. That it's just an experience that you have to have, but it makes me wonder, like, why why are you holding on so much to this twin flame? I don't think that there's anything that.
Tell the truth. Stop, yo. You be so soft all the time. Tell the fucking truth.
Well, yeah, because I don't want to be too
Tell
hard.
the truth.
Yeah, like there's this expectation that you're not gonna find something better than your twin flame. But the thing is that you will. You just have to believe in yourself. And again, and I say this again, I feel that you're being too hard on yourself. You're being too hard on not having this self-esteem to recognize that what you seen in the twin flame is something that you already have. Whether it's good or bad. I'm just having this channel message, and whatever you see in this twin flame is already within you, whether it's good or whether it's bad. So everything that is inspiring about this person, you already have it. Everything that you feel that you're gonna lose if you don't have a relationship with this twin flame, you already have it, and you already can it's already in your life. You only have to be willing to see it. And I feel like this is where the Neptune is coming for you too. This is where the illusion is, that this other person is so much better than you when it's not true.
And romanticizing what was good about the twin flame dynamic and basically ignoring some of the logic that's asking you to cut it. Because at the end of the day, right, like you just got out of that relationship, and I'm sympathizing because in all sincerity, like this twin flame dynamic for me as well, like it was a very tumultuous, fucking rampant, nervous, thrill-filled moment in time of my life, right? Like a lot of excitement, but when I look at the reality, okay, the reality of it, it was a lot of toxic shit happening.
And that's the thing about twin flames, like they're here for you to experience and to grow.
Right.
They're not actually forever.
It's a return to self. Never forget. So it's a return to self, right? Go ahead, paste that.
The email list again?
Yeah. It's a return to self. Did she say something? I didn't even see it. My bad.
No, check it out. She could hear it too, but when you were like, I don't want to be too harsh.
Oh, my nervous system is fried. Yeah.
Yeah, I've been hearing that.
Yeah, so definitely whoever's in here in the chat, just stay tuned with the email list because we're getting more and more accurate. I'll explain the 29th degree. She has a 29th degree at her moon, okay? And this just makes 29th degree is a degree of prognosis, degree of the future. Literally, like literally, she can see the future. The irony is, a lot of times, like the future is private even to her, and then other times it's not, but it's just so far ahead that it's like it can create that same like Neptunian haze about, well, I know what's coming, I felt it already, but it's not here, and how much work might actually be involved in steps and stages in the middle for it to be here. So there's that other element.
Yeah, that's actually very true. Like I was talking to my healer about this when I first started this spiritual path. I was like, I can feel it, but it's not here yet. So what? I'm feeling more frustrated because I know that it's ahead. I know that it's there, but it's so far.
So my question is, what are you severing?
Yeah.
Yeah. We ain't got no friends out here. Shake that thing. We ain't got no friends out here. Come on now. So if we speak about just that, because we're talking about Mars squaring Neptune, and I feel like this is the beginning before we get to the transit itself, which is like basically a couple days. I mean, it's going to square at 23 degrees, and we have already, the thing is, Virgo is in the mix. Mine is in Virgo, so we're just looking at the facts. It's asking us to just analyze what and how will we get rid of what we're going to get rid of. So Aisha, I want you to say the same thing, but we're going to have our leader step up and lead. What are you severing, and how are you doing it?
To me, it's severing all the repression that I had. And again, this came to me in the form of everything that's sex related, everything sexual. And it doesn't have to be like the act of sex itself, but all of the energy and how it is talked about. This is something that just came to me so recently, and as a shock too, because I thought that there was nothing in there. But then I started to realize, and again, this is how understanding how the future is helping you right now. It's helping me right now because I'm understanding all of these things. I'm understanding how am I able to recognize the triggers. How am I able to root them and see where are they coming from? Because if you don't know, there's no way that you can actually start doing the work. If you keep repressing, and speaking for myself, if I had kept not wanting to look and not looking actively at those things, then I wouldn't be able to work through it, and I just repress it more, and then they just become baggage, or become part of my shadow.
All right. No, go ahead. I'm sorry.
No,
I was about to get excited. No, okay.
Get excited.
No, so here's a prime example. Now, I really wish that I had more men on this channel, because I really feel like I want to speak directly to them in the moment, but I know there's more women predominantly watching, and that's okay. What I can do is be that man in my own way, separate from you, and really in a sense for me. So there's no clinging is what I'm saying. I feel women benefit from this tremendously when it comes to understanding what this great severing is about. Can you pull another card? There's something out of here that needs. Jamie, what's going on? I see you. Let me break this message in, because everything she just said, how is that presented? When I say the male has to have purpose and direction, it's like, well, me knowing for myself where I'm going,
Deep cellular healing.
Boom. Me knowing where I'm going, and in a sense why I'm going there, is what allowed her to go through the severing process. Where if she did not have a strong masculine energy to basically sharpen and clarify the Neptunian forms of love, the Neptunian forms of expectation, which both of these energies, Libra has an expectation energy involved with it. Okay, Libra naturally has some expectations. They're not just living and swifting through life with ease and breeze in a sense for no reason. Because part of them they actually are, as a part of Venus, is their birthright. But it's happening because they're sharing that energy with Taurus and Venus, right? The feminine. But it's the masculine working with the feminine in its own way. Depends on what form of astrology you look at, but I could further prove that by saying the original astrology started with Leo. So then went Leo, Virgo, and then the first was now Libra. Before, which was now, who's the last?
Cancer?
Cancer. Right? The feminine is behind the masculine. So you got Leo, the first masculine in a sense, but he's fixed and he's strong in his ways. So there's a plus and a minus. Right? There's a plus and a minus, like everything. And really, there's no plus and minus at all. It just is what it is. But it's very different than having Aries as the first zodiac sign. Whereas it's not necessarily set and fixed, but it's pushing. But it's not pushing. Even though it's pushing, it's not sustaining. So everybody has their ups, their minds, The point is, thank you for that thumbs up, I see you. The point is, why I bring that up is, how does she get to severing? This is Mars in conflict with Neptune. In order for her to embrace what was fairy tale about expectations and love, romance, work, whatever it is, okay? The whole story of prognosis with the healer, the feminine needs a strong masculine to basically create the challenge as a masculine, all her masculine energies within her, actually, right? So she has a lot of masculine energy within her chart. And it's like masculine energy is sharpened by challenge. Without challenge, it becomes dull and it decays. So that's just, but with her having strong masculine, and all women do. All women got masculine somewhere in your chart. So we need to understand what is the masculine's archetype and energy and focus. When we do that, we get closer to understanding how to go ahead with, look at the severing.
Yeah.
Bro, don't let me come up in here. If you're not a member, fucking join, baby, okay? Join. So for me, part of the severing, okay, listen, bring me back to that last thought. Okay. For me, part of the severing is having to, and it was Libra that told me, having to cut off the chats and members only. Where these are the moments where I'm feeling the energy, I'm feeling a new member wanting to join in, but it's like, you know, whatever the hesitation shit in the middle, it is what it is, but there's this part where I had to sever the sorrow. Wow, you even heard my voice as I said it? Sorrow of in a sense giving up some of that Leo attention, giving up the fact that the chats were live, motherfuckers in the chats getting it in, having fun. We were having a ball, literally as a community, as a circle, and it still is there. But I had to go ahead and cut that off. I had to make that severing because the Neptunian illusion, okay, for me as a Gemini, right? So I have my Vesta's in Gemini. My best ability is Gemini in the 7th. Therapy, talking and using my voice as a form of therapy. My voice is therapeutic. This is literally my best ability. But it's therapeutic with Gemini being able to talk about anything, but with Libra's focus and diligence and deliverance. Libra is a very deliberate sign. Where it pushes the new friends, it pushes the therapy, it does or doesn't do is deliberate. So my point is, cut the chat. There's a certain sorrow because there was a certain illusion that I was going to be able to continue running YouTube without growing as a creator. So I have my Pisces in the 10th house, okay? So Neptune is in Pisces, it's a prime example. This is a career move, right? This is a career move. I cut communication. I was like, look, you ain't a member, you can't even comment. Not because I don't love you, not because I don't fuck with you, but because I gotta not live in a fantasy as a business person. Pisces 10th house, which is just like, it had to allow these things to come to a close. What am I saying? This is ancestral in its own way. 10th house goes back to the 4th. I'm just trying to give you examples of Mars cutting Neptune. Okay, so just stick with me. This is, you see me getting in it, I'm getting in my war stance. I'm ready to, okay? 10th house automatically goes to the 4th. My natal 4th house is Pisces. My 10th house this year is Pisces as a part of my progressed chart. And I have multiple of them. So what are we saying? I'm having to cut the ancestral ties, stopping and blocking career expansion and success. Because Jupiter is success and Pisces is home first in Jupiter. So cutting the, thank you. If you are a member, go ahead and drop one of the custom emojis. Help them support your boy out. Hit the thumbs up if you're brand new, but definitely drop one of them custom emojis. Give me the rocket blast off, okay? Because that one exists for Jupiter moments. I want the rocket. I'm dropping my own rockets. See, and this is a part of it, honestly. And I want to go back to the thought about divine masculine and feminine energy, just to give a prime example of like, well, what are we surrendering? Understand that You know, at one point I looked at that with sorrow. I literally got that card, you know? It's like with nostalgia, like, oh man, I'm gonna miss talking and chatting to people. But it was like, bro, the reality is you have to help people end their suffering and karma, and not everybody deserves to talk. Not everybody that I'm literally teaching and leading is supposed to talk. So this is in a sense why you get this card. The sorrow card has Saturn in Libra. This is the balance and the purification. You got the justice card right here as well. This is divine justice. And like divine justice, like, bro, there are so many lifetimes of royal blood within me. Cosmic royalty. Not everybody is prepared and ready, and not can you give all your attention to each and every person who does talk. I couldn't see any of that up front, if I'm being honest, but we're coming into an Aries full moon. And I got a whole lot of Aries in the creative spaces, and this is the reality. Aries is like lead. And this is where it goes back now, if you talk about masculine and feminine energy, with me having this clear focus and direction within myself allows the feminine to basically explode, nurture, feel, burst, crack, break, rebuild, death, live over and over, but at a rate that is so safe and secure that she can begin to reach new heights as well. And this is what women are missing. They're missing, you know, in all sincerity, men, for multiple reasons, okay? Because don't get me started on this shit. I'm getting started on it anyways. For multiple reasons, they're missing good men. Part of that is because you don't believe they exist. So, fuck off, okay? That's your fault. And the second part is to be able to, when you do get it, understand what it means to surrender. Because no good man will take a woman unwilling to surrender. I'm just telling you that shit. And if you do, I promise you somewhere deep underneath these insecurities, he has this pussy made shit running through his system. I promise you. And what's going to end up happening, you're going to end up controlling him. You're going to end up easily manipulating him throughout time. And he does not have the reins, and you will then lose him, and it will create more sorrow. So what's the self-fulfilling prophecy? Mars and Neptune, Mars cutting, Mars a Gemini, masculine sign, cutting a feminine energy of Neptune. The feminine energy of Pisces is cutting the fantasy. And that includes something like twin flames. That includes something like me choosing this life path like I ever had a fucking choice. Okay?
Sorry.
Like I chose to come back as a life path 11. I chose to come back psychic. Like, did I really have a fucking choice? No, like I'm here to tell you the future. I'm here to tell you what you can't know up front. I'm here to tell you psychic shit that you will never see in reality. I'm here to tell you how you can help create it from the dream world, from dream space, in real time here. Well, I wasn't surrendering. Nope, absolutely not. So definitely, Aisha, get on track of understanding what that means. And I can give you some of the positive emotions. She can help you understand some of the negative, toxic emotions. All right. Some of the positive ones, the divine feminine. You remember some? Pick them up. All right. Is nurturing. Is being compassionate. Okay. Is learning how to be nurturing. Learn how to be compassionate. These are positive emotions. Knowing when and what to destroy. This is positive.
Intuition.
Okay. Intuition. These are positive emotions. This is a woman being magnetic.
And no.
Finish it up. So being magnetic, but understanding what within your own, as a woman, your own masculine energy, what within you are you aligning with that's purposeful and full of direction, knowing that you will fuck that up. I'm not gonna lie to you, because that's part of your makeup, chaos. So knowing it is one thing, but then being able to trust it in a man who also aligns with that. That will sustain, I promise you. I promise you that will sustain, because it's his job to have that logic, that clarity, that mindset, okay? Where you, as the woman, have to take him out of his mind into his heart. And he needs to tell you when to stop being so extra and to get focused in this direction, in this area. So now you have all that sexual creative energy that instead of basically utilizing and wasting it because of some sense of fantasy behind romance and whatever the fuck that means. By wasting it, not getting creative, not getting artistic, not dancing, not laughing, not relating, all sacral chakra things, okay? And wasting it on hedonism, wasting it on physical pleasures, where, yes, great, you had 9 nuts, you made that guy made you nut 9 times, awesome. Now what? You don't know. You're lost. So you have to apply that 9 nut energy with the right man. And now watch your life change. Watch the things you were never able to cut and sever completely allow you to desire to surrender to that exact presence. And you'll know that as a difference. When you're ready, you feel the desire to surrender to a man, whoever that is. Because the natural genetic makeup of your divine feminine energy will not desire to surrender if you don't feel safe.
And that's where intuition comes to play, actually. A lot of the divine feminine in light, it's run by the intuition. Because it's also being vulnerable, and that's something good. But you cannot be vulnerable with just anybody. And this is exactly what Pernell was saying. Like, you can, as you cannot surrender to just any man, you cannot be vulnerable to any man. So it's this adaptability, it's this intuition of knowing when yes and when not. And
so what's those negative traits? Help them recognize the negative signs.
Yeah.
What's up, Shireen? Okay, what's up, Jamie, Aisha? Welcome. I just want to give y'all some support, some love. If you have any individual and personal questions, as some of the members that are on this channel, I think we have like 11 members now, I want you to definitely go ahead and use this capability. Understand that it won't stay with just a smaller amount, if you will, in the moment of members that can comment. So take advantage, grow. You are literally, I want her to tell you this, but you literally, as a divine feminine, you know what's safe intuitively. You know what to support intuitively. You see this shit? You know what to magnetize others towards. You know. And so as a part of that, it's like you joined on this channel for a reason. There's something you see within me as a male, as a masculine figure, as a masculine energy that is basically being asked to be born, okay, within your real dynamics, your relationship dynamics in business and love. I feel this is more love, if I'm being honest, in this particular instance. I feel this is more love. So I'm going to say in love and in friendship as the 2 focuses. In love and friendship. I'm going to take business out for now. In love and friendship, there's something you see within me that feels, I don't know, a sense of reliable, a sense of like, okay, this fucker knows where he's going, he knows what he's doing. I want this in my life to reflect in the masculine energies in my life. So use this time, comment, how can we support you today? We have our cards out, one being Star Seed. We have our Hermetic Tarot deck here, all right? I'm ready to support and serve you, the Divine Feminine, especially for the support and the magnetism you have done and given me. And this also includes you. Thank you. Okay, what are the negative traits of the Divine Feminine as they ask their questions? Ask your questions and drop some new emojis, baby.
so, overly emotional. And that's the one that I throw in at first, because one of the light sides, if you remember, is vulnerability. So it's a very thin line to find this balance between allowing yourself to be vulnerable, but without being overly emotional about stuff. And this could be anything, everything and anything. The other one that is actually very common, but at least for myself, I find myself doing it, but I also find I need it to be called out, and it's a manipulation. One of the dark, the shadow aspects of the divine feminine is manipulation. And this is something, I mean, I guess it's so programmed that maybe I don't even want to see it, that I don't, until it's called out. And at first, it went like, no, of course not, I'm a Pisces. I forgot the word. I'm supposed to be just all love, unconditional. I'm supposed to be all unconditional love. I feel I feel really that like one of my missions. Like for me, it's very hard to hate someone, but when I do, I do. And the thing is that then how can I be manipulative? I don't want to manipulate anybody. I literally don't even like want to control things that much in that aspect. Like I do believe that everyone is a man for or woman for him or herself. So this is something to look at in a very deep level. I don't know if this is for everyone, but I am telling you from my experience, I do find myself doing some manipulative moves, some manipulation moves. I feel like I'm saying that word wrong. But the thing is that
channel. Let it go. Just let it go. Surrender. Stop being in control of what the image is. This is a prime example. So can I for just a minute? I want to get right into it. This is a short example. Only because I seen Jamie say it in the chat of being controlling. And this is not just about your action, your personal action. Well, this is talking is an action. So yes, but in this moment, and I say this with love, like trying to have to find the right word. Instead of allowing the flow, feminine energy, divine feminine, it's flow. It's just like chaos. It doesn't care. Feminine energy is like me speaking Spanish when I have tequila in my system. I'm just like, I'm speaking that shit like, and I don't give a fuck, right? Like that's me and my divine feminine flow. It's literally like, especially even with communication, it's like talking, not cutting on purpose with intention, especially to lower the sense of self of another or your man, not trying to cut down his ego through harsh words, because that's definitely one of the negative traits.
Yeah, cruelty is one of the negative
being cruel
traits.
is very different than being honest and being compassionate in the honesty, even though you know it's gonna hurt. So that's a prime example right there where, like, you know, when I said what was needed to be said about twin flame, I said it and then I let it go. That's a flow. Versus in that moment, I was telling her, I was like, yo, just fucking say it. Stop caring about how you're going to make somebody feel. Say your truth. Say what you need. This is divine feminine energy.
But here's where it gets tricky. One of the light aspects, and I'm speaking for myself, I don't know about anyone else, but for myself, I find it difficult. Because being compassionate is it's a light of the divine feminine. It's a trait. It's a light trait from the divine feminine. But if you have too much compassion, then you end up being victim. And if you don't have enough compassion, you end up being cruel. And both the victim and the cruelty are in the shadow part of the divine feminine. So again, finding this balance between I want to be compassionate, but I don't want to be cruel, and I don't want to get to the victim part again. So let's understand this. I'm speaking to myself as much as I'm speaking to you. I do find that this is tricky, and this is a process. Again, I have been in my masculine, in my masculine part a long time. This is what I personally feel that I was first to do. I didn't see other way out, and this is a part of not having enough information. It's part of the ignorance, to be fully honest. Now, that is not an excuse, that's just an explanation. Now that I know, it would be, I don't want to say a mistake, but it wouldn't be in integrity with myself to keep going when I know that I am in this process. And now that I am understanding the part that are light and the parts that are shadow from the divine feminine, then it would be like pushing myself away and not embracing that this is what I came here to do. I came here to embrace my divine feminine and to recognize all of these toxic traits, all of these shadow traits. That's the first thing that we really don't want to do. For myself, I didn't want to recognize that I was manipulative. I didn't want to recognize that I was in victim mode. I didn't want to recognize that I was being cruel. Because they seem like they're bad. And me now telling these things to you that I recognize in myself, it's a hard thing to do too, because now it's out. Like, yeah, I have been cruel, I have been manipulative, I have been the victim. And one of the first traits that I recognized was the victim mode that came to me like 2 years ago, and that's the one that I've been working on. But right now that I understand and I'm learning that there's more, and again, life is gonna put in your life whatever it is that you're ready to heal and that you're ready to work through. So right now I'm stumbling into all of this information on how to heal, how to be healthy of the divine feminine, and also that it is not bad to have a divine masculine in yourself and use it. It's just to understand what are the occasions when you have to use it, and where it is that you have to, that your counterpart, your divine masculine partner, to lead the way and allow yourself to be surrendering, to allow yourself to be compassionate, to allow yourself willing to love, adaptable, spontaneous, sensual, intuitive, and I was going to say instinctive. I guess.
There's a feminine instinct. Yep.
Yeah.
Keep going.
Yeah. So start recognizing, listing all of these things, and one of the things that I found more of how to start working on the divine feminine, first recognizing these both, the light and the shadow traits, but also having a role model. You could look, for example, Shakti, Lakshmi, all of these goddesses that are
Bhakti.
divine, that are just pure and divine feminine models. They're just pure divine feminine roles. And also look for the counterparts. Look for the counterparts in persons who actually have a great divine masculine just in check. And this could go again into divinity, or this could go into people that you already know. I do have a couple of people in my life that I can recognize very clearly that are in tune completely with the divine feminine. And now this is not just idolization of somebody else, just understanding that they are in your path because they're teaching you a lesson. These people are in my path because they're teaching me a lesson. So start looking for these people that are your guides. Start looking for these unions that you want in your relationships, and that is part of the divine feminine too. Once that you understand what is it that you want, once that you understand where is the balance, you start to attract. And I think again, you're attracting this content to yourself right now.
And attraction is a feminine energy. It's not masculine.
Yeah.
Okay, and that's why as a woman, you don't chase, you attract. But understand as well, you have to understand the purpose and direction of what you're attracting to. You have to know the masculine presence. You have to know the masculine energy in your life and supporting.
That's why you cannot just stop at looking at the divine feminine. You have to look at the examples of the divine masculine too, to understand and recognize with more ease those traits that you want to follow. Because again, your intuition, we all have the intuition. Sometimes it is blocked by the foods, by the things that we watch every day, by the connections that we have, but it is there. If you quiet yourself, you're gonna find it. So something within yourself is already trying to guide you that way. So again, if you have a more clear example of what it is that you're looking for, then your mind and your intuition can just make this connection, and it will be so much easier.
And it'll get rid of everything in the way. That's the beauty about the divine feminine. And this is why men, or the divine masculine, need women to essentially play that Kali role. Okay, to be the destroyer, to devour, okay, the monsters on the psychic plane, the monsters on the water plane, okay, the dream space, to be able to devour the things that are not of the physical world. While the male is spearheading, taking on all the first threats, think Aries, headbutt, and spearheading, all right? This is where now, sorry, I just saw Jenny put the couples retreat, and I'm like, yo, baby, we're coming out here. March, this is why the retreat is coming, baby. March 2023 is looking like strongly March 2023, okay, of next year, after the final shadow of Mars and Gemini finishes up. All right, it looks like when the shadow finally finishes, it's gonna come up. This couples retreat is necessary to bring the healing to the world. Absolutely. So I want to go back to Jamie's question.
I'm just catching up because I haven't seen any of this.
Bang, Shireen, probably brother in the past life. Yo, I feel that. So, Shireen, sometimes I just want to call you. I be having so many dreams, and I've been interpreting dreams that in these days at such a high level. It's been so clear, so accurate. It kind of I felt that connection. It felt like, damn, just to talk to somebody that can actually talk about dreams in the same capacity rather than me having to interpret dreams themselves. All right, here we go.
Oh, Jamie, just so you know, the energy for this month I have is the Queen of Swords in reverse.
Wow, so she coming out. Hey, thank you for those emoji drops. I see you, Aisha. Are you a Gemini? Me too, Gemini sun.
And hey, Aisha, what the spirit wants you to know, literally all of these things, I think I just answered your question without even looking at it. These learnings, these things that people that you're putting in your way, that the spirit's putting in your way, just listen. Listen to all of these messages. getting the email is check more about the divine feminine and the divine masculine. Understand the things that you're watching in your twin flame that you don't think that you have by yourself, or why is it that you don't want to let go of that relationship. Get prepared for the retreat.
Yeah, March next
No,
year.
literally. I mean, maybe it doesn't have to be with us. It doesn't have to have an astrotherapy with Pernell. It doesn't have to be have a healing with me. But look something that, and this is the funny thing. You don't even have to look. Just open your eyes to the things that are already in front of you. You know you have to heal, and I feel you're so ready to heal. I feel like on Monday you were like, I'm not letting this go. But right now I do feel the willingness of your soul. So start looking for all of these resources that you already have at your hand and use them.
Yeah, I see it. Can't imagine in the retreat how the frequency of healing in person. Yo, I told you, like, so in my past lives, I can't even actually pronounce the names of Reikis. All I know is they're the highest forms, and like there's a golden dragon, a golden yellow dragon, a part of this Reiki practice, and it's like what I'm able to do with my actual real hands, like just the simple touching of somebody. I had to learn. Like I used to like to give hugs to everybody. Like, for me that was like love. Like, I used to just hug everybody. I used to touch everybody, and I realized like I can't do that. Especially as I start learning how to work with energy, it's like I realized like part of my own clarity of purpose and direction as a masculine, it's like I can't jeopardize the mission by doing such a thing. So I learned a lot, and all sincerity, I learned a lot from Aileen. Cause Aileen she'd be like step back, motherfucker. Like, what the fuck do you think you doing walking in my lane? And she has that natural energy. I don't know if I think she has one of those tough ass personalities to break up over the internet for sure. Absolutely for sure. Because in real life, like she's like I don't fuck with you, motherfuckers. Don't even think. She has that J-Lo Leo energy. She literally if I look, her third house is in Leo, right? And so it's like Leo won't walk on the same carpet as somebody unworthy. Somebody that's unworthy, it could easily be of like not of royalty, quite frankly. Anybody that does not belong on the red carpet. And it's mad funny to see these things play out because she's obviously like this, she's a Pisces, a sweet ass girl. But now when she walking, okay, now when she talking, right, she like, my room, my house.
My food.
my food, yeah, that shit's funny as hell. But I say that to say, I don't know why the fuck I said that. I was having fun.
I don't know. It started with a don't fuck. I had this don't fuck with me energy. I don't know. That you learned a lot with me through that energy. Wow.
Oh, we got a shooter. The moon in reverse.
Yeah.
Dun, dun, dun.
This is literally just the deception thing over.
All right, so let's work with the deception. We said we were going to ask real questions. The first question I think Jamie started was, what were the negative traits of the divine feminine?
Oh,
and you gave that.
Yeah, that already came. I mean, I still can list some of them again just for clarity, but it's a victimhood. It's being cruel. It's being overly emotional. It's controlling. It's being. Did I say manipulation already?
Yeah. I mean, and I'm gonna go with it from her because we did say most of it. Damn,
Insecurity. That's a big one because insecurity again. What is it? Compared to the life part, it's not following your intuition. So that makes you be insecure of what is the next step, of what you do, of who to trust or who not to trust.
Yeah, the lack of trust is an automatic because it's just the heart chakra itself. It's like a lack of compassion, a lack of trust. And not only just a lack of trust, but becoming suspicious in who you can trust, the forms of trust. It's almost like getting out of sync with your intuition, your divine feminine intuition, in a way that becomes destructive and chaotic against itself. Because I saw you say something like, I recognize that, I was manipulating because in a sense it gave you a sense of power. Because it's like, at least you knew that as long as you manipulated, that the situation, the thing, the scenario, the argument, the talk will go for you and not against you. And in reality, it's like what you're also doing is you're taking away the free will, okay, as well as disturbing the direction of your masculine figure. Oh yeah, she spit that one out. You're disturbing the direction of your masculine figure. And I mean, I had to have this talk in different ways with Aileen on certain days. I was like, look, like, you know, there are certain things that I'm not here, I'm not a human. And like I feel like we have to always, and she's not a human either. And I feel like we have to always remind ourselves every once in a while, because we are living in a human existence, and I have to remind ourselves, like, look, I don't have basic bitch duties. Okay? Like I'm a fucking cosmic warrior. Like let's be like sincere and take this in for a moment of clarity, truth and honesty. And as a part of that, it's like she has a very powerful divine feminine energy. Very powerful. And ridiculously wise, right? We're talking eons and eons and eternal lives. We're communicating at these levels. Imagine it together. We're both on here talking to you about these messages. Imagine what they're like and what they're about behind and off screen. And a lot of it is, some of it is simply just like that. And it's like, look, you know, and I said the same thing I said to y'all. It's like, bro, we're not gonna, no. There's no way that I'm gonna lower my own sense of self or my own sense of worth to cater to more of the out of sync feminine energies, the feminine energies that are in their toxicity. And it's like, we're gonna stop and catch that shit at the door, because no, it's not my responsibility either. Because again, this is where you are manipulating now your man to get the situation that felt safe, but it was controlled. By you taking away his own sense of will, first off, you're treating him as if he's incapable. All right, and no man is going to like or enjoy that. And then also, we are the mentals, if you will, of clarity. Okay, clear mind, clear and sound mind. If it's in its health, right? If it's not in its health, and part of that is, if all sincerity, our biggest defense against divine feminine energy in its toxic form, is holding and retaining our semen. So the days that we nut, okay, are the days that our minds are clouds. They're cloudy, it's confusion, it's like, what the fuck's going on? So what am I saying? This is why Gandhi, Rumi, and other spiritual leaders would tell their wives, look, I'm on a pilgrimage right now. So don't even expect that sex from a physical level is going to be a part of it. We better get real in tune with this divine form of love. We better get in tune with, you know, the more spiritual forms of love, talking tantric, talking the retreat coming up in March, okay? When you talk about this divine retreat, we're gonna start talking about these traits. And they said that because this is the only defense, that testosterone itself is a spiritual defense. So a male cannot be psychically attacked if he has his testosterone. It will fail. We will see it and look at it so stupidly that we don't even usually comment. Now the difference is, you can't take that silence if you're trying to be in your health as a divine feminine. You can't take that silence, or even just that acceptance that, okay, look, my lady, my woman has gone through something, but there's nothing for me to solve. So this is when the male is out of balance. When he's trying to solve the problems, he will then begin to hit his head on brick walls every fucking day. And eventually, this is where you start getting domestic violence. This is now you get a man who's in anger and rage, not rightfully so. I'm not saying that, not rightfully so, but just truth. And now, where is he going to discharge that anger? And if he fucks up, the men that fuck up is when they discharge that anger back onto the women. But reality, what did those women do at the same time?
Yeah, let's understand that it's just everyone's to blame, the divine masculine, the divine feminine, because it's only in the proportion that one allows it and the other one acts on it, that these things happen, these unbalances happen.
But what I was saying was that backlash is something she said specifically, because that backlash, it was starting from that when trying to control somebody, something with free will, right? To manipulate, to get that what you wanted, right? You did it with your abilities, your skill set. Whether it was emotional or psychological manipulation. And the thing is, that person in reflection, in this specific example of domestic violence, or taking of your will as a woman, like if a man is somehow taking away your sense of freedom, whatever that is for you, likely will come in a physical manner. He will try to take your keys. He will try to take your phone, whatever you find freedom in, because he will feel like, I don't know what else left to do after such long time frames of toxic feminine. Now, the reason why this is a bigger highlight in this particular avenue and in this direction, in this day and age, is because the divine masculine has been toxic within feminine more recent and much longer in this time that we are alive. Now, if you go back a couple hundred years, masculine energy was in way more toxicity in its divine feminine. The divine feminine within men were completely fucked. And through that chaos, rage, destruction, now you have rape, violence, and fucking grotesque things within this category and more. But that was not him being a toxic man, that was him being a toxic feminine. And this is what we've never talked about. And this is what we as a people are not entirely understanding. This is Mars cutting the illusions with the logic to the fantasy. While Venus is invisible, so you can't see Venus in Libra right now. So these harmonizing tactics and traits, they're not so clear. They're invisible. If you are aware, then you can pick them up and it's visible to you, but you're seeing it from the unseen realms. So you must understand that and not take your gifts for granted and realize that like that doesn't mean that everybody can. Not even your partner for sure. It means that you can.
That's fun.
I was like,
Yeah, you're so
I was like, I need to see where we go from here because shit got real. What's up, Secret? Nice to see you.
Okay,
Checking in.
Source on a shaker.
Alien game. I know. I'm gonna get the alien back in here. I think I messed up. I think I switched them out for something for just now. I had to get
The Scorpio?
no, but I had the alien, the black alien's face. No, I had to get rid of. I changed it for the moment because I had to get one more member. I think. So I had to switch one. I had to switch one out.
Yeah, but
I'm gonna get the alien back. I'm
Yeah.
gonna get my alien back.
Yeah,
I'm
of
gonna get
course,
it.
of course.
Get my emoji. And I want to say thank y'all one more time while she checks the questions to the members for joining, for the people commenting. What up?
No, nothing, Ayesha. I would love to know what I was in a past life. Go with me. What are you waiting for?
Aileen got gangster energy.
Jamie already had 2 sessions of past lives, one in person, one through internet and in a group form. But I mean, it's very unlikely because something that I want to share about past lives is that you don't always go to heal some kind of karma. Most of the time it could be, but you can also go back in order to retrieve gifts and skills from past lives. I recently just had this librarian gift brought back to me through past life healing. So maybe there's something in there. Maybe there's something in there with your twin flame too that is blocking you and is making your soul hold on too. Because I had it happen to me too. I had this how did you call it? Like craziness karma?
Sometimes you gotta get that FU to the karma, but go ahead.
Yeah, but it is something that you have to work through and then work through everything else.
For the craziness karma.
Yeah. No, that was crazy. Not touching people. That's a really big pet peeve for me. I love touching people, but when I want to. I hate when people touch me randomly in the street or someone that I just met. Here in Mexico, it's super common that even when you just meet someone,
Yeah, they wanna be like, put their hand on your
no,
shoulder.
they kiss and hug.
For new people.
For new people, like if I'm introducing myself, like, hey, my name is Aileen, and it's kiss and hug, and I'm like,
I mean, I might hug somebody new.
That's something-
Kissing me? Nah, bro.
Yeah.
That's just poison.
That's something that I'm really thankful for in this whole pandemic thing, because finally people is like away from me.
Bang. Gangster energy. Being the queen of swords in reverse. What's up, Secret, Shireen, Aisha, Jamie? Good to see y'all. Thank y'all again for being members, supporting the dream, supporting the mission.
Oh, this is a tower moment for me, understanding that it's time to release the control. Yeah.
I did see earlier that you said David came and saved you in your dream. And, you know, I don't know David, right? But just from the feeling and the vibe, you know, you give David way more hell than you should, and you should stop. I don't know David. I only seen him walk by a couple times. But what I do know is I have a lot of female clients, and I have one female client that whenever her man would walk by, and eventually he stopped because he realized what I was, and he realized that I was exactly the epitome of everything he wasn't going to be to his woman. So he stopped. But in reality, it's like what was really happening. He recognized divine masculine energy, and he also recognized the lack of it within himself. And that was exactly that same guy. I gotta leave more details out from now, but let's just say that he didn't walk by the way David walks by when I'm having you on Zoom calls. You feel me? So David walked by and David's at peace. David's not worried. David's not feeling a sense of insecurity that this coach or this mentor on the other side of that screen is gonna take his wife or fuck her or some stupid shit because David's not insecure. So if David is what I think and what it looks like, and I haven't seen much, I've never even had a conversation, right? So I'm taking it with my grain of salt. David's a good man. So stop fucking with David and go give David some love, and give him a hug, and be like, you know what, David, I appreciate you, and say, you mind sharing that with them? Or like, what did that come from with you that day? Wait. And whatever that meant.
Oh, he was like a channel message. It was, I'm gonna be honest, it was the day that we were drinking a lot of water.
Was it really water or are you fucking around?
Of course not, I'm fucking around.
Oh.
Yeah, but that always makes my channel super open as a Pisces.
What makes your channel open as a Pisces?
Drinking a lot.
Of water?
Of water.
I'm gonna shut up.
No, come on. Okay, so
Come on.
the point is that babe. I was talking to Pernell and he was actually talking about projects that he wanted to do for himself and that he wanted to do together. And there was I really felt this whole part of purpose, of direction, of understanding where he's going, how it is in integrity, because that was the whole conversation. How it is in integrity, what he wants, with the things that he was actually in Earth now to do. And I just felt this very big necessity to tell him, I want to surrender to you. And I feel like that's part of the union of the divine feminine and the divine masculine. His divine masculine has the purpose and the direction, so my divine feminine just surrendered and allow herself to be vulnerable and follow and to support. I used to hate this word support because my understanding of it was biased and was not what it actually is, because I thought of support like I thought as Batman and Robin, and that Robin was a support. Literally support is being a sidekick. But I have to grow more and understand that support doesn't mean that. Support, it's actually something very important that we need, especially in relationships. And this doesn't just have to be a romantic relationship, because it's every kind of relationship. Support is something as easy as watching your buddy's YouTube channel, as buying your friend's cupcake. Mm-hmm. And it is kind of support that the feminine is giving to the masculine in order to fulfill their joint vision, their joint purpose.
Right.
So it is allowing yourself to be vulnerable. I'm saying for myself too, because I didn't understand. And for a long time, I lived in the victim role. I lived in my masculine, in my shadow masculine, to be honest. I was all about doing, and not actually understanding for myself how was I feeling and the things that were integrity or not. So then allowing myself to even just feel what I was feeling, to allow myself to feel grief when I wanted to feel grief, and feeling sorrow when I was feeling sorrow, to feeling anger when I was angry. This is something that I just came to an understanding very little ago, like 1-2 years. So it's, again, this understanding, and Pernell said something to me the other day that resonated a lot, and it was that the masculine had to be in the divine feminine to realize that they don't like it. As much as I felt it resonated a lot with me, because I was a lot of time in the masculine, and then realizing that I didn't like it. But at the same time,
you didn't like what part? I'm just trying to read. 1 second. You didn't like what part?
Being in the divine masculine, because that's not my makeup.
Oh, women don't want to be there, but go ahead.
Yeah, but I'm saying that this is something that you said, that you have to experience the other part to understand and realize that that's not what you want.
Exactly.
So that's what I'm just sharing that that's what happened with me. That I was in my masculine a long time, but I really realized that I didn't like it. So I tried to start. Well, I didn't try. I started to come back to my divine feminine, and being this process long because I didn't even understand exactly what I was doing. It was just something intuitive, which is again stepping into the divine feminine. So that's how I know that I'm in the right direction. So I think the whole point that I was going here with is that it's not wrong to be the divine masculine if you are in a feminine energy or vice versa. The thing is to understand and recognize these things and to recognize that what is it that you don't like, what is it that you do like, where is it that you need to be, what is your purpose, what is your intuition telling you to do. And again, allowing the surrender with the right energy, because you're not going to surrender to something that you don't want. And something else that I want to share is that while you are in your shadow aspect or the divine feminine, or in the divine masculine, being a feminine energy, you're not, you're gonna keep attracting the things that are keeping you in the trap. So this is why it's important to, again, give a look at yourself even before you go into a relationship. You're only gonna hurt the other part too.
Yeah, nobody got time for that baggage shit. And if you see relationships breaking up now, and they're struggling to have these chill vibes always, I'm telling you, they went into the relationship with baggage, they went in unclear, they went in to avoid the mental despair, okay? Potentially to avoid the ways in which their divine feminine toxicity is being cruel, or to potentially, you know, and I feel like we gotta get some of the divine negative traits. Can you pull that up?
What?
Hit the thumbs up, y'all. Can you pull up
The negative traits of
the
the,
divine masculine?
oh, in controlling,
Yep.
it's being, I think, egoic.
Oh, egoic for sure.
Yeah, persecutor, controlling, aggressive, dominant, domineering is what it's called. Abusive, ruthless, cold detachment. And again,
And emotionally numb. Cold detachment and emotionally numb. Go ahead.
Yeah. I feel like it's cold detachment. It's something that I recognize a lot of men. But it's again because they don't. It's just as much as that's why I'm telling you the unbalance. It's always between two parties, because one, as divine feminine, cannot surrender to a divine masculine that is in the shadow side. So a divine masculine cannot have any sort of attachment or for any type of emotional bond with a divine feminine that is in the shadow. So this is why I'm saying this imbalance is formed by the two of them, and this is why the divine masculine has to go into the light and the divine feminine has to go into the light. Because as long as we within ourselves don't have that made up, it's only going to bring more of the shadow part of the opposite energy.
Yeah, and that's why we originally got the Three of Wands, which is like establishing your strength. It's establishing your strength. It's getting ready for the Four, which is the preparation of the Four Wands, the preparation of your strength. And like you said, it takes two. So that's also the secret.
What card was it?
It was the Golden Children.
Oh, the Children of the Sun.
Yeah, but I think you want to pull. There's
Oh,
stuff.
I did pull some that I didn't even like show you. I am a gel like zip cellular healing. But what this means is that trust in yourself. And when I see
This goes
cellular,
back. Say that, but combine that back with the Mars squaring Neptune, because that's what this video is here for, and it's leading them into like total astrology. So combine that with that.
I mean, what I was gonna say about the deep cellular healing is that every time that I see it is about the body, but remember that a lot of the diseases that we have in real life in physical world are coming from a metaphysical standpoint, stand of view, or whatever you want to call it. That something is not right in the metaphysical and it comes in the way of diseases. So what is it that is manifesting? Or if you're able to catch it prior, then heal in a way. I'm seeing here Arcturus energy. Arcturus is a planet where all of the healers come. I do have a lot of starseed in my starseed astrological chart, I do have a lot of Arcturus energy of the healer, literally. So this is why I'm able to recognize it so easily. When a soul is ready to heal, it's ready to heal everything. Not only the mind, not only the soul, not only the spirit, everything. And when it goes, these beliefs, to clear them from the smallest, tiniest atom of your being. It's a healing that goes not only from the outside, not only from the aura, it goes deep into ourselves to manifest them outside in the outside world. So I don't know exactly how this works with the Mars squaring Neptune. Just as seeing that all beliefs, all patterns, the things that you're evaluating in their relationships are things that you have to heal within yourself maybe.
Well, first off, take a look at this card and how this applies with Neptune. This is a nice card. How this applies with Neptune is Neptune is the 12th house. It is the house of dreams. It is the house of dreams. Okay? So we're cutting and severing the things that's not allowing us to establish our strength, that original 3 of Wands that we got, not allowing us to perfect our work. Okay? AKA to prepare for the stability that's going to be required for your dreams. So how this applies to Neptune is, remember, Neptune dissolves things and it cuts with Mars. Mars is cutting and severing. This is the great severing. That's the first card we got. I do feel like there's something different that's trying to come out for them. It's the first card we got. And so when I look at this, because it was October astrology, what relationships, or what in the relationships are having to change as for expectations? There are certain expectations that are deep-seated on that deep cellular level that require a deep ancestral healing, but also like the embrace is dissolving, is cutting the mental illusion, the mental despair for the gifts, the ancestral gifts that you're skipping, as well as the more cosmic gifts, because 12th house is a very illusionary house, a very magical house. It's where magic happens. Dreams is where we create our reality. So everything that we're cutting during this transit, understand that Mars will be there really until January, where the retrograde finishes in January, but the 2 months worth of shadow, which is a long time. That's like 5 more months minimum. I'm losing track of the actual time. 7 months, I think, total. 5 to 7 months. Where understand that the deep emotional healing happens in this next 6 months, because it's just going to take that long. In all sincerity, it's going to take that long, because you're trying to, we have to start thinking that things less linear and non-linear, okay? And we are self-actualizing ourselves in a non-linear way as well. And it requires a certain emotional healing as well as this.
Well, this card for here is longing for home, homesick for the stars. And it is something that happens when, because again, we're not humans. And this deck is all about starseed. We all have a little bit of a starseed within ourselves. Whether we recognize it or not is something different. It could be easily because the last past life was a starseed and that's more fresh, or that it was a long time ago, so it's more hidden within yourself. But the thing is that some part of you recognizes all of these calls for the divinity. In this case, I do feel, I do see it as a part of my purpose to bring back the divine feminine and the divine masculine into unity, into balance. So for me, myself, it's understanding that this call is coming. And as I am recognizing that there is something within yourself that is calling you to, what is it calling you to heal? And again, this whole week, as I put in my weekly tarot video, it is all about divine guidance. Today especially is about divine love, so I thought it was cool of you to do that with David today. Jamie, because today is actually a day very, right? Yeah, because today is a day very auspicious to the union and to be in divine love. And again, what is divine love? Is a union of the divine masculine and the divine feminine too. So this hero card, it's calling you home. What is home for you?
She said she was at peace with him, so I imagine like, no, motherfucker. This thing loves to break.
You love to break it.
It's
always the same part.
So it's the same part. God damn it! I broke my shaker. Thank God I got a beautiful Aileen that knows how to fix these things.
I cannot tell you how many times.
That's number 3. It must be it. We just reached divinity. I just broke my shaker. Yeah, it still shakes, baby. It still shakes. 100% secret. We are coming back around with heightened awareness. Absolutely. So she said it's cyclical, right? There are a lot of misconceptions from the past that must be evaluated, Hardy. This is the fact that retrograde and Mercury, okay, is on the comeback. Okay, right now retrograde Mercury is in Virgo, and like I said, the Kazemi is going to happen around what, the 17th of October?
Yeah.
Around the 17th of October. That's 7 days after the full moon in Aries, which is October 9th.
This Sunday.
This Sunday. So take the time to rest, do the emotional healing right now. These are the good days for it before we come into. Check where Aries is at your chart. If you're in the chat right here, right now, it's a good time. Drop in it if you have that possibility. Let me give you something personal. Let me help you understand what Aries is kind of coming to a close. Personally, I would love to do that. Okay, I would love to do that because that's keeping me on focus, keeping me on direction. For the people, I learned something very important. Support the people supporting you. Support the people that's drawing and magnetizing your dreams. Never forget, I hope I say this forever and ever and ever, like, you know, the base, you, all 11 to 12, 10 of you watching right now, y'all the base support. Like, this is what I do every day. This is what I have been doing all my life. At some point, I started making it out loud and out and known. Okay, I started putting my reputation out there for the things that I know in my mind and put it on the internet. So it's a part of that. Support the thing. There's the lesson I had to learn for myself. Support what supports you. Support your base. And it's like, you're my base. So drop what Aries is at in your chart. Drop the degree. Drop the house. And drop the planet. Okay? Drop the degree, the house, the planet. Let me help you interpret that. Did you have something you wanted to say?
I don't know. No. I forgot.
Cool, Aileen. Thanks for the confirmation. Relational energy. Yeah. You're coming back. Yep. I love it.
Yeah.
So Shireen, Jamie, Secret. I think Aisha said she had to go.
Yeah.
Y'all have that green light. Drop Aries in your chart. That'll probably be my last gift because I go get some food.
Oh yeah, I'm hungry. I'm hungry.
Oh yeah, I'm hungry. So drop it in your chart. The degree, I'll type it up. The degree, the house, the planet. Check your charts. Know your chart. Know yourself. This was a Liddy Live. Love y'all. Absolutely.
Aww.
Absolutely. Appreciate it. I wish I could remember your placement. I don't remember where you're at, Jamie. Secret, I don't remember where you're at either. I've seen all your charts. I just don't know where I forgot. Usually I have a good memory. I know you're Sagittarius. I've been thinking about that Sag moon. Other than that, I'm gonna give y'all a last second what you need to know on this forecast. Definitely watch out for deceptions, okay? Self-deception is really the bigger thing that I'm getting. Just getting in your own head, getting in your own mind. Okay, Aries 5th house, 23rd degree. Yeah. Okay, art for you is super duper spontaneous. You're coming into that, illumination, that closing, that. Your instinct is actually very masculine in nature, and you're first to the gun. Like, no one really is that much faster than you. Somebody might have had the potential to see the future before you, but you have the ability to actually, in a sense, like, there's two things you need to watch out for, Shireen. The deception I'm getting off the rip is when you commit creative suicide. Not even gonna fuck with you, it's just that simple. Creative suicide. Like, when you look at your creative talents, your creative abilities, whatever they are, dream work, singing, dancing, and you instinctually know what to do, you know what to jump on, you know what direction to go, and watch out for suicide, and watch out for whatever self-sabotaging tactics are there, because that's how this transit is going to affect you for the next 7 months. That's on the negative. If I was to say it, like, what's the blessing? What's the light of the situation? Is that, you being present in the moment, which you're like having a sense of creative presence, will allow you to actually capitalize on your hopes and your dreams in that exact moment that you would have potentially, if you took the other route, committed creative suicide. You would, on the other side, essentially embrace like creative potential and creative presence in the moment. I'm gonna pull a card for her. I need a breath. Shireen, this card is for you. Next up, who's next in line? Jamie.
I don't know. I think I look at, yeah, thank you.
I'm just breathing.
So you scared the hell out of him. Empathetic clarity. Absorbing what's not yours. So apparently, part of this, the release is, wait, I'm looking at it. I'm getting the message. Don't forget my channel. Yeah, what I'm hearing here is that you're absorbing a lot of things that aren't yours. That's why you're cutting with Mars. This Mars in Neptune, this is what's gonna let go. Stop absorbing other people's dreams, this necessity of fixing somebody else's life, of being the savior. And this is something that is gonna be triggering through mirroring. So somebody that right now that you're looking at and you're like, ugh, but for no apparent reason, is because it's mirroring yourself. So check out this, what this person is doing that is making you get these triggers. And again, look in this space of how are they trying to fix your life, maybe, or someone else's that you care about. So they're doing it for you. Yeah, that's your card.
Somebody said they hit them sirens. Yeah. Okay.
Somebody said what?
Shireen, you're brave for blast off. All right. Jamie, you have the degree that bleeds sex, and you have it in a place of action. I'm not gonna lie to you. So what you're coming into for this full illumination is, and honestly, like I don't know what stage of your life. I mean, this is like your whole life. You have it in the 5th house and the 5th degree. The first is that I'm getting off the rip is that the 5th degree bleeds sex. Okay, sex appeal, sexual action with Mars, and you know what's coming to illumination is like this new self, this new rebirth of self. On the negative dark side, it's like asking you to really take a full look and illuminate in what ways have you used your sexual energy in a ruthless manner, and to just be real, to be serious. Like certain parts about your sex drive has been ruthless in its toxic masculine traits. So we remember the toxic masculine traits. You would just like at certain stages, cold, you know,
ruthless, controlling,
aggressive.
Not willing to commit.
Yeah.
Domineering.
And so what you're recognizing, a part of this is like you're probably starting to look at sex in a much more spiritual form. I feel like you're coming into your more emperor type energy of Aries. This is you, Jamie. Not the card. Yeah. No, the card.
I still have your cards.
The card is right here with her. The last one was for Shireen. So it's like start seeing what the positive traits of masculine energy is. Which word do we have on your side?
The positive traits. Yeah. Of course.
Of course. Oh wow, you're really not playing. So
Jamie, I'm taking this seriously.
Thank you. So with your sexual energy, Jamie, it's more about putting in the realization this full moon, you know, in your creative projects, okay, and your friendships, right? I'm getting friendships as well, even the people you choose to hang out with, the tribes you hang out with, to look at it as a light form, the illumination, stepping away from those negative and darker traits of divine masculine. It's about being mindful with that sexual energy, being accountable, having a certain sense of creative accountability. So when you say you're gonna make a video of a tarot read, you put that shit up. When you say you're gonna start your Calendly or your membership business, you really start that shit up. Aries, you start it up. So it's about a certain sense of creative accountability because as you essentially forgive yourself as well for whatever ways that you use your sexual energy, not sex itself, which could have easily been sex, in a way for ruthlessness and those negative traits. Now you're finding yourself being merciful. You're finding yourself organized, independent. non-judgmental, courageous, sexual actually in its positive form, but also intellectual.
But being mindful, because
Yeah, mindful.
again, this repurposing sexual energy doesn't mean that you don't get to have physical sex intercourse, you know? It just means how you're doing it, not doing it just mindlessly, not doing it as a form of escapism.
Right.
Because it actually is something that I just read, and it makes a lot of sense, is that when you orgasm, you reach a certain part of divinity, you reach a certain part of nirvana. So it's using this sexual energy in order to grow within your spiritual path, to go higher in your spiritual healing.
So the last I got for you, as she pulls a card, is I heard you just say that David is a Scorpio and you're a Scorpio rising. So understand that your feminine in yourself itself is literally rising to be, in a sense, him. To be him as a Scorpio. So do keep that in mind. Allow yourself to go through this rebirth. And I gotta fix that peace sign. I got the white on the back. Creative issues, okay? Step by step. Jamie, this is your card. And we're going to use secret now.
Oh wow, I actually have to read about this one.
Oh shit. Portal. Jamie, we met you at the hidden portal. Puesto, the hidden door, the hidden portal. Escondido. The hidden portal, the hidden door. And now we got a card for you that says portal as she gets ready to find it. And I think this is you getting ready to go through your healing tonight and the candle ritual that you're getting ready to do, Jamie.
Yeah, your hard work is being rewarded. Extreme transformation can occur.
So you've been, and Jamie, I've been seeing you put that work in, yo.
Yeah.
So like, give yourself credit there too, because I've been watching you on the internet. You've been putting in hella work, yo. I've been seeing you use your energy wisely.
Yeah, things are in full bloom. It's time to take your harvest and taste your well-earned fruits. And actually, this Aries full moon that is coming up, it's a part recognition of all of this hard work. So this is coming in a great time. And understanding that this work can come from a lot of places. This sexual energy, repurposing all of the creative projects, also your life with David, also the friendships. So don't look just at one aspect of life. Have this recognition for yourself in every part of life, in every aspect.
So you saw the card. I hope you benefited from it. Thank you for being a member. Shireen, Jamie, this is that one extension out to show that love. Okay. Astro membership's coming soon. I'm going to make an announcement. It's going to look more like, what's the next month? November? It's going to probably look more like November. I'm going to more realistically put it on November. October, for October astrology, is a moment to wait. It's to cool down, to strategize, okay? To get your stuff up on a board. To get clear, to get focused on where you're going, why you're going that way. It's masculine energy being Libra, but it is invisible. So it's like, be very deliberate with where you're going next and wait. Don't push anything out fast. Don't push anything out. You know, even right now, you notice we just showing ideas. We're gonna run a retreat in March 2023, but we're taking surveys step by step, brick by brick. We're getting information. We want to hear from you. What would you like to come to a retreat and learn? Please do say something, because everything we're talking about now, which for me is, I told Aileen, like this for me, this is purpose and direction. Talks about sexuality and how we use sexual energy, divine masculine and feminine energies. It's like, look, I am here to fucking talk about this shit in a very therapeutic way. This is the direction. You on board or not? And it's like, this is what we need. And women, you must require this from your men. And men, you must require from your feminine that if you're giving them that they're surrendering to that and that there's no victim shit. So, thank you for the thumbs up for everybody else that's brand new in this chat that hasn't hit that thumbs up yet. Help your boy out. We got, we asking you, where is your Aries placement so we can help you understand.
I think secret.
I'm gonna get to secret next, yeah. Secret, you're the last one so far. If nobody else comes on, whether you're a member or not, only members have the ability right now. I'm gonna give you a full insight and a card pull based off of just support and love. 9th house with the MC. So I'm guessing no planets. So she has an MC. If your MC is different than your 9th house at 27 degrees, secret, can you drop both? I'm gonna take my peace sign in a moment. Okay, I'm gonna try to write that again so I can see it, because it's mad high up. Because I don't understand. I see MC, but the MC would have its own degree. The MC has your midhaven has its own degree. And if you have a ninth house, so I don't know if your MC is at 27 degrees or your ninth house at 27 degrees, because that would help me a lot if you can write that out. Thank you for the clarity. Absolutely, Jamie. So much love and respect. Absolutely, Shireen. I appreciate you. Oh, we got a visitor.
Bing.
Gang. Love the emojis. I love your enthusiasm for life. Yo, Jamie, we talk about all the time how much we fucking love you. We just, I think she's your biggest fan. I'm not gonna lie to you.
It is true.
I'm not gonna lie to you. But I be loving it too, cause for me it's like I feel like it's one of those things like I'm black, you black, and I just know. I have like this knowing, but it's like Aileen is like coming into terms with like, yo, Jamie wanna. Honestly, she's been like that from the grip, but she's like really like she started off in terms like Jamie is the shit, and I was like, I know, right? Like Jamie is the motherfucking shit. Like I was so happy we got to meet in person.
Yeah.
I want to say it brings me a joy. It puts a special touch on having a live and have you being a part of it now. To actually meet in person and be able to communicate like this is amazing.
Yeah.
Maybe Secret's not here. Okay, bang. No plans. MC and ninth at 27 degrees. Okay. So Secret, I'm gonna try to get you to try it again on the Placidus, because you're gonna have a degree in your MC and you're gonna have a degree in your ninth house. I'm just imagining if your ninth house is also Aries. So for the career, 27 degrees, you have your MC. This is the most evolved degree of Gemini that you're coming into. Speaking, writing, talking, singing, okay? Learn skills, learn behaviors. This could be a very changeable career, all right? You may be coming to understanding on the full moon of that.
Most likely you're already getting bits of it at least.
Yeah, but even among that, it's like something within that career space has to always be flexible. And there's a high level of consciousness with this flexibility on what do you have to offer as an entrepreneur, quite frankly, Aries, as a boss, and also to not get caught in these social expectations, which would be the shadow, okay, that might be what happens in private, potentially within the family's dynamic, about, well, what's the expectation of who you are and what you're here to do. Look at that mosquito, motherfucker. Is it a mosquito?
No,
it's
it's
a
not.
moth. Okay. I was like, you're not gonna get me in the daytime, bro.
You have no idea
You
the
gotta
kind
wait
of
till-
fights that he gets into with the mosquito.
It's like, you're gonna have to wait until at least after 6 p.m., okay? No mosquitoes in the middle of the day. All right, so Secret. The illumination is one of your career endeavors. Again, give it 5 to 7 days or so after, really 3 days before, you're gonna start getting nuggets right about now.
Mm-hmm.
It's gonna keep enlightening, all right? Up to 5 days minimum. And I wanna say by 7, you're gonna get it. Of like, what has illuminated about your fame yourself, and what ways have you also been illuminated about more shadow aspects behind how family has created a certain social expectation. But now that Libra is here, and Venus and the Sun, your authority, your power is by redirecting and recreating, reinitiating new discussions, new friendships, new business partners, new lovers that are actually engaged. I want to say lovers as well, again for you, that are actually engaged with your career endeavors, the things that have been revealed, the things that are showing you, look, here's how you shift. Here's what gets cut, here's what gets severed, and old expectations, especially social expectations, are part of it. Busy bees, yeah. Abundance be raining. Thank you, Magdalena. Alrighty. My little broken one. That's okay. What you got for her?
I have
that's a pretty
actually
card.
I actually got 2 cards. I was wondering if it was the deal, but yeah. So it's a 2-part message. Hey, Murphy.
My boy Murph. What's going on, man? Welcome to the Astro Support. I appreciate you from the bottom of my heart. She's gonna give this message for now. We want you to drop your Aries planet, degree,
House.
in your house. Okay, wherever you have an Aries, we're gonna help you understand. Welcome, Murphy. Thank y'all for welcoming. Go ahead, Murphy. Get a little lick of the new emojis. Yeah, fuck them. Okay. Secret, we back to you.
Yeah. So it's literally about releasing control.
Welcome to the Murphy Show. Okay, sorry.
Yeah, it's about releasing control. To understanding what are your coping mechanisms, how are you dealing with whatever is triggering right now. And the second part is understanding that you are not alone. And it is a part of, is asking of you to be part of a community.
That's it. She said something about arbitrator in there. Check that and see how it applies to what you just said.
Feeling like an arbitrator and mediator. Well, maybe that's where you have
Libra
to.
fourth house. That's the.
Maybe that's where you have to release it, loosen your grip. You don't have to be a mediator. Like, like what up? Take a look.
You don't have to be. Are you mad money with that tone on that one? You don't have to be a mediator.
The point is to look more for yourself. Don't be afraid of being a little bit selfish, especially in this part of the year.
Because at a certain point, I think with the coming into illumination, at a certain point, I feel like you're gonna start recognizing that the coldness, the cold-heartedness, the cold emotionless detachment is one of the divine masculine negative traits. I think you're gonna start coming into terms that at a certain point, there's some feminine energy that might play victim, like that you have to mediate, that you have to be this arbiter, and reality is like check in with where is it a sabotage on your own career, your own fresh new start. And the full moon, you know, mind you, with the full moon, you could just, anybody watching this, you can just go back and see it 6 months ago, what was happening in April, right? So what was happening in April? And secret, I know some of these conversations because we were talking in April. So it's like, what about April around Aryan themes are coming into fruition now? That blue candle is going down fast.
Yeah, and I also wanted to say that the other part of the part is of getting on with communities that speak the same language as you do, that are going maybe not through the same things, maybe they are in a more evolved position right now, so they can guide you. So this is really going with people that you know are vibing in your same frequency.
Right.
So you could go into people like, what happened to my friend? And she was talking to somebody that wasn't at her same level. So she was trying to hold her back and told her to calm down, and what she needed was to express herself. So maybe something like that is happening to you. You have to go to the communities where you are being loved, when you feel that you're actually understood and helped and supported.
3355. I know Aisha's not here, but I just saw it again. Oh, now we got 33665. Okay. All right.
Murphy, hurry up because I'm hungry.
Murphy, she's hungry. Murphy, you about to get me chewed out, man.
It is not gonna play well for my boy here.
All right, look here, Murphy. I know you're a new member, but you're gonna have to. No, I'm fucking with you. She's not. You know, she's a woman. She's not. We can't let them go hungry too long, bro. Nurturing is comforting.
Peter.
I know, cause I've been surviving on on vampire blood over here, and actually it's beetroot juice and some Tostitos, but they're all gone. And so is this blue candle for the communication today. So for now, what we're gonna say is one last understanding wrap up, just to give Murph like 3 minutes in case he's gonna comment on that Aries degrees, his house. Give me your house, give me your planet, give me your degree. Hola. So the money. What's on the dressing? We got the mafia coming through. They're like, pay up. We did had the mafia come through. It's like, pay up. All right, there you go. And so Mars squaring Neptune. For everybody listening, the final part of the message, hit the thumbs up. Welcome our new members. All right, I want to say thank you. I appreciate you for being here, supporting the mission, supporting the tribe, supporting the vibes. I'm laughing because I can see the mirror right there. We got like one of the flow. I'm gonna leave it alone. We gotta pay them, keep them quiet. We gotta keep it quiet. My bad. I'm over here being nosy. I'm over here like, what's happening? Okay, cool. I'm back. I'm gonna shut up. So, ready to get off this Mars line. All right, Mars banging off with Neptune. Mars is all about cutting. It's all about severing. So it's the great severing, quite frankly, because you got the great dissolver. You got the dissolving of the fantasy, you know. You're starting to look at what's real. You're no longer playing victim. You're no longer playing the control games. You're just looking at the mob is at the door. I know this shit is funny. You hear me talking different, no? I'm like, Georgia. Yeah. All right, I'll tell you what. That's it. I gotta go. You'll find that part of the message earlier in this, and that's it. We out of here.